Thank you, Audrey. And we had the meeting of the mothers
Oh,
on that trip because my parents were visiting Grand Cayman at that time as well. So that was very cool. So thank you. It's great to be here at virtual ScubaCon. Obviously, I think I'd rather be up in Colorado, one of my favorite states in the whole of the US. But I am here in Grand Cayman. I am stuck on Grand Cayman, which is not a bad place to be stuck right now. But I'm going to take you through some information about Sunset House and Sunset Divers. First of all, let me introduce myself. Audrey did there. My name is Emma Jane. I am the sales and marketing manager at Sunset House. I'm also a dive instructor. I started in the Caribbean as a dive instructor, working in Turks and Caicos and then British Virgin Islands, and now home is Grand Cayman. So I've been living in the Caribbean since 2006, and I've been in Grand Cayman for like coming up 12, 13 years. So this really is home now. I've been at Sunset House just coming up for 4 years, and I love it. I love being in the resort environment. I love meeting all our guests. They become family, and hopefully by the end of this, you guys will be our new family. I am originally from Scotland, from Edinburgh. I can absolutely, totally and utterly say I've never dived in Scotland because it's far too cold. So you're well better coming to the Cayman Islands for sure. All right, so Cayman Islands, is easy to get there, or is it? Because it isn't right now, unfortunately, but soon come. So you can see Denver there on the map, and as Audrey already said, Cayman Airways has got direct flights twice a week in season from Denver to Grand Cayman, which is awesome. So you know, Cayman Airways is our flagship airline, and it's super that we have this direct flight from Denver now. So you know, Audrey will have information when it starts up again. So if you're interested in just check with her, you can always go to the Cayman Airways website as well. But, you know, failing that, we have many airlines that service the island. So if you're not, you know, if you have those airlines that you want to stick to because of your points, then get yourself to Miami. American Airlines is there. Houston, we have United, and Delta comes out of Atlanta, as well as many of those other ones. If you're in the UK even, you can come on British Airways as well. So some quick facts about the island. You can see the map there. This is Grand Cayman. This is the main island out of the 3 Cayman Islands. We have the sister islands, which are around about 80 miles away. That's Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Sunset House is situated where the X marks the spot. We are about a 10-15 minute walk south of Georgetown, which is the main town capital of the Cayman Islands. We are a British overseas territory, so we do have the Queen on our money, and we do drive on the correct side of the road. We're around about 62,000 people, although that has diminished a little bit with coronavirus because people have gone home to their home countries as well. We have the green sea turtle as our national emblem, which is awesome. We get to see them diving all the time as well. And our famous 7-mile beach is really only 5.5 miles long, but it's a beautiful, beautiful stretch of beach, and it's a quick bike ride or a taxi ride from the hotel. We're very lucky that we have 365 dive sites across the 3 Cayman Islands. So you can choose to dive a different dive site every day of the year if you wanted to. So out of those 365, over 220 of them are around Grand Cayman. So there's lots and lots to choose from for diving here. Oh, look, there's a typo that I haven't fixed. We have coral reefs around the island instead of coral reefs. I'll move on. So Sunset House itself it's actually like one of the oldest dive resorts on the island. It's owned and operated by original Caymanian family that started it back in 1958. And Miss Hebe Connors was the matriarch. She was the grandmother, and she was 8th generation Caymanian back then. So they've been on the island for a long, long time, and it's it's great to be able to work for a true Caymanian business. So when it started, it was that house there with the blue roof. It had 8 guest rooms. And in 1972, Adrian Briggs, who is Miss Hebe's son, he decided to start Sunset Divers and really make it into a dive resort. So at that time, that's when we got our slogan, which, you know, Sunset House became Grand Cayman's hotel for divers, by divers. We have our famous and popular bar called My Bar. The original picture of My Bar is right there, the grass hut. It used to be called Mahogany Drop Off. And I think there was a family argument about whose bar it was, hence the name became My Bar. So it's still owned and operated by the Briggs family today. Mr. Adrian is still very much on the scene, and it's actually Miss Hebe's granddaughters that manage the hotel now. So they're the current general managers. So the family is still very much involved, which is great. So we're not like a big chain hotel. We're very much family owned and operated. So you feel like one of the family when you come to the hotel. It's a little bit bigger than the original house now. So just to give you an idea, I'm just going to show you this short video, and it gives you an overview of the hotel, the area that we're in, and also our diving. Get out of here. Hold on. Stand by. See, I knew this would happen.
That is a great video.
How do I get out of my video?
Okay.
No.
Spacebar? Nope.
Don't you love Zoom?
So, yeah.
Where
Are you in your slideshow still?
Yeah.
Can you escape out of the slideshow and just move to the next slide with the...
Sorry, everybody. What on earth? Oh, here we go. Sorry. Let's get rid of the video.
It's a good video, though. That totally shows some really good highlights of the resort, and the boats look so nice.
So Emma and her technical adeptness. Right, here we go. Okay, so the hotel, you saw pictures of the hotel there. The beach that's in the video, that's Smith's Cove, that's walking distance down the road. Or we have our lovely bicycles that you can rent as well. The hotel itself sits on Ironshore. We're not actually on a beach. but that makes for the fantastic diving that we have at the resort. We also offer a free shuttle bus in the afternoon into Georgetown, so you can check out some of the shopping and also visit the beach, which was Smith's Cove in that video. We just got bicycles. We just redid all our dive lockers, so they're nice and large, very airy for your dive gear. We've upgraded the Wi-Fi throughout the property, so not only in the rooms, it's in all the public spaces as well, the bar, the restaurant, by the pool if you really want. We have many room options, which I'll touch on shortly. And we also have a great ocean sea pool, which you would have seen in the video as well. So it's a great opportunity when you're first arriving to do your checkout dive. You can get in the sea pool, check your gear, just get acclimatized before you head out onto the shore diving reef. We have our freshwater pool there with waterfall. There's also a cold hot tub up there as well that you can relax with your cocktail. And we offer yoga on the front as well twice a week, which is super. It's one of the best places to do yoga, and you'll get to see our famous sunsets as well while you're doing it. Something that's new that we got just before lockdown, so hardly anyone has enjoyed them, is we have some lovely hammocks now in the shade as well, which is great. You can enjoy and just swing the day away. So touching on the rooms, we're a small resort. We have 36 rooms, and it's a mixture of courtyard and ocean view. The two at the top, the one with the brown color, is our ocean view rooms. You can see out the window, it goes onto a patio or balcony. And then you can, if you're on the ground floor, you can walk straight out onto a grass area and the ocean's right in front of you. The courtyard room is the other one on the side there. Some of these have partial ocean. And then the bottom one is one of our ocean view suites, slightly larger, still 2 beds. It has a sitting area and a dining area as well. The ocean view rooms all have microwaves in them and some upgraded facilities in regards to the courtyard. The courtyard, they all have fridges in them, and they all have coffee makers. So the courtyard really just doesn't have the microwave in it. We also have 2 ocean view apartments, and they are like a studio style, and they have a full kitchen in them as well. So if you like to cook yourself, then you can do that, and then go and explore some of the fantastic restaurants that we have on island as well. So those are our different room types. And then let me take you through some of the diving before I touch back to the hotel. So Sunset Divers is on site at the hotel. All of our staff are instructors. Great experience. A lot of them have been on island for quite some time, so they know the dive sites. We offer daily 2-tank boat trips. So in the morning, you go out and do your 2 dives. We do a wall dive first and then a reef dive second. The Cayman Islands are famous for their walls. Basically, the islands are the tip of volcanoes, and we have this huge drop off that goes right around the island. So if you can imagine, you're really diving on a vertical reef instead of a horizontal reef. So we go out and we do our deep dive first, and then we come in and do one of the shallower reefs. We have trips that go out twice a week to Stingray City. That's the top picture there with the stingrays. And this is like the world's best 12-foot dive, according to National Geographic. So we basically get you in the water and you kneel in the sand, and then we have our instructors come in and they wrangle the stingrays. So we're feeding them with squid bait, and they're like big puppy dogs, and they're like swimming all over you, and you can have a sombrero stingray on your head if you want. But you also get to interact with them because this is a wildlife interaction zone. So we are allowed to touch and interact with the stingray. So it's a great opportunity to do that in the wild. These are still wild stingrays. They're not in an enclosure or anything like that. And Stingray City really happened from back in the day. The fishermen would come back into the north-south to clean their fish out of the rough waters. They'd throw the fish scales or bits and pieces over, and they noticed it was attracting the stingrays, and hence Stingray City was born. So it's one of the must-dives that you have to do in the Cayman Islands. The bottom wreck there is the wreck of the Kittiwake. Now she's an ex-US naval submarine rescue vessel that was sunk in January 2011. She was sunk upright, and in 2017 we had Tropical Storm Nate come through and she tipped onto the side. So fantastic wreck. She's shallow. She's no more than 70 feet, up to about 40, and you can fully penetrate the wreck. She was made safe before she was sunk, and we do fully guided tours through the wreck. So also a great wreck steeped with history for divers, because it still has the old diving bell on it. It has hyperbaric chambers in there, and you know it was involved in the rescue of the Challenger that came down as well. It found the black box from that, and it's done lots of different tours all over the world, including Scotland, which is very cool. So she's another must dive as well. We do try all the time to leave from the resort. We have our dock right there that the boats leave from, but we also have another boat that sits on the north side, so we can head out onto the north wall as well. So we move the boats depending on the weather, and we move the boats depending on what part of the island that we're diving on for the day. So when you're staying at the resort, you do get to see a lot of the different areas of diving on Grand Cayman. We also recently introduced our free tank safari. We try and do that on the north side. We go out in the morning, put lunch on board, and you're out there to do 3 dives. Usually maybe a wall dive, top of a wall, and then a reef, or we can come in and do Stingray City as the 3rd dive as well. Sunset House wouldn't be Sunset House without our famous mermaid. You can see her standing there. She sits in about 60 feet of water right in front of our mini wall offshore, and she's guarding the reef for us. She has actually been sunk 20 years this year, and I was going to make a big song and dance about it, but unfortunately COVID hit. So maybe she'll celebrate her 20th birthday in 2021. But she's awesome for photography, to get down there and take pictures beside her. We've got lots of people posing with her, so definitely a must see. And you can see in her hair as well, she's got lots of coral growth, which is very beautiful. And she sits on our amazing shore dive that you can really have access to 24/7 while you're there, because when you book a boat package with us, the days that you're boat diving in the morning, your shore diving is complimentary. So you can really dive 24/7 while you're at Sunset House. So these are our new dive boats. We have probably the newest dive boats on the island right now, and those are the 2 catamarans that you see there, Eagle Ray 2 and Leopard Ray 2. They were custom built for Sunset House. They're very spacious. If we do reopen and we have to have social distancing, then there's plenty of social distancing on these boats. They have a head on board, they have camera table. They're very fast. You can see the outboards there, and they're very stable. So like to leave the resort and get up to Northwest Point or round onto North is only about 20-25 minutes, as opposed to 30-40 minutes in the older boats. The other boat we have up there is our V-Hull Ocean Spirit that sits on the north side. So she's the one that goes out on our north departures. Very large boat as well. So lots of room to spread out. We also have lots of teaching going on at Sunset Divers. We are predominantly a PADI dive shop, but we're also SSI. We have SSI instructors. We also have RAID instructors. So we offer a full range of courses from any of those agencies. And we cater from tri-dive, discover scuba diving, all the way up to specialty courses, and of course, dive master as well. And as I said, all our staff are instructors. We do lots of stuff for kids as well. You can see a great picture of all the kids getting certified there. So Cayman Islands is actually really good for families diving, because we don't have strong currents. We don't have any river runoff. So we have great visibility. And if you've dived in Cozumel or places that have the strong current, we just don't have that. And if we do for some reason on a dive site, then we move to a different dive site. We also have a unique opportunity for you to learn about coral conservation when you're at Sunset House. We have our own coral nursery out on our shore site, and it has about 5 trees on there growing coral. So while you're out on the shore dive, you can actually take a detour and go and visit it. But we offer a number of courses in conjunction with Eco Divers Reef Foundation, who look after our nursery for us and also the 4 or 5 others that are around the islands. So you can do a Discover one, just a half day to learn about why we're growing the corals, right up to the Paddy Reef Renewal Specialty, which I actually did 2 weeks ago. And it's the first course that I've done in years. And it was so interesting and I learned so much, and you have the opportunity to go out and clean the corals and learn about the spawning. And Eco Divers also took us on a tour of the area to show us where all the new corals are growing from our nursery. So we have our nursery at one spot, they have another one to the south of us, and there's another one to the north of us. So there's a whole area that has amazing new growth. So certainly when you're there, it's a great course to do, or at least do the Discover one, and you can, you know, learn about why we're doing it. Right, enough about diving. Are we hungry? I just had my dinner, but some of you might not have because you're an hour behind me. So we have the famous My Bar, which I touched on before. She's a tiki bar that sits right on the water. You can see the beautiful sunset there from the drinks on the bar. We also have Sea Harvest Restaurant, and the bar and the restaurant have the same menu. So you can choose to sit outside by the water, or you can be in the air conditioning. And we also have an open air patio that we open up for dinner as well, which has great views of the ocean and into Georgetown as well. If you're coming down on a room and dive package, then they all include breakfast, which is served in Sea Harvest. Our chefs are actually all from India. So we have an amazing Indian menu, and actually Sunset House is very famous on island for its Indian meals. And we get a lot of local and resident business because of the Indian menu. But don't worry, there's a regular menu too. But the curries are amazing. You have to try them, and they'll do them as mild as you want. So when they get an order in that says extra mild, they know it's coming from me. So it's definitely great to try. And as I said, they have a full lunch, snack, and dinner menu. And of course, sitting outside there, you have amazing views of what we're famous for, which is our sunset. So we're also very lucky to have Kathy Church photo and video on site at Sunset House. So she is a world-renowned underwater photographer. She is in the Scuba Diver Hall of Fame, Women's Hall of Fame. And she still comes in every day. So you have the opportunity to meet her while you're there. She'll give you some tips on photography, but she also has a great staff of photo pros. They have lots of cameras for sale, for rent. If your camera, you're missing a part or breaks down, then that is right there at the hotel. That don't fear, that I'm sure they'll have what you're looking for. They also offer underwater photography courses, and they'll also do camera specific courses as well. So if you've got a brand new setup, you can let them know what it is, and they'll have someone that can help you take some great photos underwater, and also editing and critique afterwards as well. So it's not all about the diving. So Audrey said right at the start, last time she came down, she did a lot of topside stuff. One of those things we all did together was the Crystal Caves, which is a newer attraction on island. I mean, the picture there is of the cathedral right at the end, which is just stunning. And these caves are just on private land that a family has opened up to allow you in to visit. We're also famous for our rum, of course. So you can check out 7 Fathoms rum factory. You can go to the brewery to taste the beer. The other picture there is the blowholes, which is in the East End. So it's great to just hire a car, take a tour, and go right around the island. The banana orchid there is our national plant that's in the botanical gardens. But we have a concierge at the hotel. Our front desk can recommend lots of different tours, activities to do other than diving. I live up in West Bay, so we've got Hell up here. We can all go to Hell, post a postcard from the Hell post office, and we also have the Turtle Center where you can learn about the breeding programs that they do and the rehabilitation. just swim with turtle. You're guaranteed to see a turtle at the turtle center, but I'll say you're guaranteed to see a turtle in just about most dives as well that you go on in Grand Cayman. So lots to do. The little one I added at the bottom there is Barker's National Park. That's become my favorite place during we're not really in lockdown anymore, but our island closure, because it's right on my doorstep and I'm in there twice a day walking, and it's full of wildlife. So if you have the opportunity, ask about that, because it really is worth just going for a walk on the beach up there or around the mangrove area. I think I'm going to start doing tours myself when you all guys come back to visit. So we have some specials, and these are all available through Dreamweaver Travel. They're all based on 2021, because I'm not sure if we're going to see you in 2020. I hope we do. But if you do any bookings that you do in 2021, we're offering some extra credit to spend in the dive shop. So you get $100 to spend on dive and $50 to spend on food and beverage in the bar or restaurant. I would spend the $50 on the mudslides if it was me, because they're absolutely amazing. So those packages, there's a sample of the price there, 7 nights, 5 days of diving. You would have your unlimited shore diving with that and breakfast. And obviously Audrey and everyone at Dreamweaver would keep you right. We also offer a summer and fall special where your diving is half price as well. So as long as you book 7 nights with 6 days of diving, your diving is half price. And if you're just, if you're traveling with a partner that is a diver and you're not, then we can do it without the diving, and you can do like one of our try dives for half price, or you could do an open water referral, like do your course with Weaver's Dive and then come down and finish your dives with us. That would also be half price. So just incentives for you all to come and see us next year, because we miss you. And then we also have an amazing event week called Sunset Submersion. So that photograph there is just the typical sunset that you see every day at Sunset House. I'm not sure if it's quite so pink or if it's a bit of Photoshop, but it's a beautiful picture and I love it. So Sunset Submersion is a special event week. Again, 7 nights. It's going to have lots of different activities to do. We'll have the regular diving, the kitty-wake shore diving. We're going to do an underwater poker run with prizes. We'll have Aaron from Eco Divers talking about coral conservation. You can get out and see the nursery. We're going to have a welcome cocktail party. We're going to have a movie night with a twist. I can't tell you what it is unless you come, with pizza. And then some island tours, sunset sail, farewell barbecue. So this used to be a yearly event called Total Submersion, and it stopped for a number of years. And we're like, why? It was such a fun thing, and it sold out the resort. So we're going for it. So we're 65% sold. So get on there for May. Audrey will get you booked in. It's not very expensive, as you can see here. And hopefully the direct flight will be running by then. So just to reiterate, the Cayman Islands are famous for their Cayman kind. What is Cayman kind? We're friendly. We're rich in cultural heritage. We have cosmopolitan style for a little island that we are. We have amazing natural beauty and a warm welcome. And that Cayman kind is really what waits for you at Sunset House. So just to remind you, we have unlimited shore diving. Right there in that picture is our shore site with all your dive packages. Amazing sunset views from my bar. We're centrally located, so we're really located in a great area that you can get to all the different parts of the island. Sunset Divers is right on site. We have the newest dive boats on island, spacious, comfortable rooms, and of course you can dive or snorkel 24/7 if you really, really want to, and a lot of people do. And they get to see a lot of cool things out in front of the hotel. So I am ready for questions. I hope you enjoyed that. Sorry about my little technical video, but you got to see it a few times, so that was all right. So, obviously we hope to see you down here very soon. We're being safe. Our government is looking after us all. As much as all of us that work in tourism want to see you, we have to stay safe.
Well, Emma, we are looking forward to seeing you as soon as we can, safely, and in order to kind of get everything we can out of the Cayman Islands. There's so much to do and so much diving. So I had a few questions. So the house reef, you mentioned the mermaid in it. I saw that you have the coral nursery. What other things can you see on the shore dive?
Well, do you know, I didn't mention the wreck, did I? So we have, that's because I can't see my notes. So we have the wreck of the Nicholson as well. And there's a very small landing craft wreck that was purposely sunk out there in the early 90s. And it's named after one of our original dive masters. And she has so much growth on it, and really good for macro life. I love going on there and try to find the little decorator crabs that are hiding. She's very close to the main wall, so you get a lot of movement of marine life from the wreck and the wall. So we have the Nicholson, we have the mermaid, we have our coral nursery. We have basically the setup of the shore site is we have ladder entry that you can do a giant stride, or you can go in for the seat pool. It's hard pan for a little bit with channels going out to the mini wall. And then the mini wall itself is covered in corals. And then we have coral fingers going out towards the deep wall. So the mini wall and the deep wall are accessible from shore.
Cool. Yeah, I remember a very fast swim on a shore dive I did with you one time. So we know the Nicholson and the Kittiwake were sunk for divers. Do you know if any more wrecks are being planned to sink?
So when the idea of the Kittiwake was planned way back, it was meant to be something like a wreck alley.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it took so long and so much red tape to get the Kittiwake here that those ideas were abandoned. So I do not know of anything else in the works about sinking anything else purposely.
Okay. I just know that some people would like to do some more wreck diving and not have to go all the way to Truck Lagoon for it.
But the Kitty, if you've done the Kittiwake and you haven't done it since you went over, it's like a new wreck.
Okay. Oh, I've done it since it blew over. It gives me vertigo when I go inside, but it's totally cool. Like, it's one of the only wrecks that I feel comfortable going into, even as an instructor.
She is very cool. And the couple of weeks ago, she was full of the silver sides, which was, awesome.
Yeah. So the Coral Reef Renewal course, how much is the cost of that? And is there academic stuff you have to do ahead of time, or do you do it on site?
You do it on site. So we partner with Eco Divers Coral Reef Restoration Foundation, and Aaron comes, and basically it's a lecture in the morning, and he takes you through so much knowledge about why, how. Just the guy is a wealth of knowledge. So that is a couple of hours, and then you go out for a shore dive to the nursery, and you're shown how to clean and remove any critters that shouldn't be there. And then you come back in and you get another lecture, usually while you're having lunch, and he talks about the next stage of it, a bit about spawning the critters that are detrimental to the corals and stuff. And then you go out for a second dive, and at that point he's showing you like the growth of the reef, and like what I was saying on that dive, that you see all the new growths. Now on the top of my head, I think it's $250 US, but don't quote me.
Okay, that's fine. I'll get it in an email. Sweet. I had a question. In that slide from Kathy Church's photos, what is that yellow thing?
Yeah, it's a little. So Kathy has this thing that she does with her students, that you need to go and find a sponge that looks human. So she calls it like the dancing sponge.
Got it. I thought it was a sponge, and then I was like, that has eyes.
She can't find them. She collects them all, and yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you.
I have one question, Emma Jane, from an A. McCarthy, asking if he can complete his open water dives down there.
Send him down. I'm ready for him.
Yeah, he registered for this meeting, Emma Jane.
And did he register? Is he here amongst all these people?
Yes, he is.
Oh my! I need to find his. He's actually in the show right now. He's on good.
So guys, Well, Emma Jane, thank you so much for being here with us tonight and telling us about Sunset House. Those new dive boats look so awesome. I can't wait to get to go diving off of them, even if we have to socially distance. Seems like a pretty easy thing to do. I've heard rumors that we're going to have a group trip here in 2022. So I'm looking forward to all the shore. I mean, I shore dive all the time when I come here. So